Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 78, Family Matters. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Michael Corley, and with me tonight is James. James, tell everyone who you will be playing.
Hey everybody, I'm still playing Pentant Chalice, spell scale sorcerer, plus whatever the heck is going on with him.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, when we last left Penton, he woke to find that his body is partially transformed. The left side of his face, his left foot, his right hand, and he has grown a tail, has become more dragon-like, and not just simply his pretty, pretty self of a spell scale sorcerer. The monk Raja has told you that if you go on an adventure and focus and not think about your liminal form, that you may find a way to balance it once and for all, or that it might kill you.
Yay.
With you on this adventure are two people who at separate times have tried to kill you. One of them being Archibald of Archibald Flying Circus, who tried to kill the princess who set off all of these adventures so long ago when the Rod of Seraphim was taken from her. But before that, you had actually saved her life when she was nearly assassinated by Archibald and his companions. You were, however, stopped by you were aided by the monk Taka in that. And then later, when you were infiltrating the evil mine owner, two of his minions tried to kill you and Merezi. One of them, Tigrin, was stopped and was set off on his own path, showed up later after regaining his human form, as y'all did, and joined the villagers who were making their way back to Palm Grove to train under Raja at the Temple of Animus. Now, you have been sent on this mission to clean out the kobolds who are infesting a nearby abandoned mine, and you have successfully taken off two of them. However, when you used your magic missiles, your left leg became more draconic. However, when you made your way in after a rather nasty trap, a half-elf ranger woman named Asa, has told you that she will help you, but she needs your help to kill her brother. And she has linked forward, and she is beginning to tend to the rather serious arrow wound that Archibald has suffered at the hands of an arrow trap. She rolls a 19 on her medicine check, and you hear this from him, very unhappy, as she pulls out the arrowhead. She sniffs it and goes, "Good luck, very good. It's not poisoned, and very often the kobolds dip it in fecal matter. But it seems that they have not done so in this case, so fortunate for you." She then places a hand over his leg, whispers a prayer, which you actually recognize as a prayer to the traveler, and his wound completely healed.
Nice.
And he is very thankful to her, despite his normal grumpiness. He is clearly thankful and is not in any way sarcastic or anything. He's just, "Oh, thank you, lass. That gets me right as rain, and I'm forever in your debt." You sense that Archibald is not someone who handles pain well.
Yeah. So, tell me, who's your brother and why does he need to die?
It is unfortunate to say, but my brother, I should say my half-brother, is an elf by the name of Accordia. And Accordia is a wizard of not insubstantial means. And he is leading this little flock of kobolds, arming them, giving them weapons beyond their means. And I sense that he is trying to find his way to the Temple of Animus, which is known to be somewhere in the Penta Plains.
It might be. Not
Yes.
sure.
Well, he knows that every so often the acolytes of the temple come back and bring wondrous and rare items to the mysterious leader of the Temple of Animus. And he knows that if he could arm his army of kobolds with it, he would be unstoppable.
Great. So we're walking into a trap. Perfect.
Well, Yes, you are walking into a trap, but I can be of assistance because I know my brother. I somewhat grew up with him, though we were never close. And I have set myself this task that I will not let him harm others. I was hoping to simply live out my life, ranging the Pinta Plains and traveling from village to village and doing this, that, and the other, a little adventuring here and there, nothing special. But I cannot let this stand, and I need your help.
Well, considering we're doing this anyway, I'd be happy to help you out.
Well, very glad, very glad. At least with my help, you'll know that you're going to face a wizard. I would highly recommend that if you would encounter him, you would do well to take him out first. There is no kobold there who is going to be more dangerous.
Sound advice.
Also, I might say that he is up high. I believe he's carved himself out a little a fancy den where he lords over the kobolds and they wait on him hand and foot.
I see. In other words, we're going the wrong direction.
Yes, you are heading into a large nest of kobolds that will likely overwhelm you.
Oh, lovely. Looks like we chose wrong, boys. Perhaps a different direction might be in order.
Archibald mumbles something about I was definitely. But anyway, you make your way back to the entrance area. A quick question: do you want Afiel to come with you now?
I feel like the inside of a cave area is probably not the best place for an avian. So I'm gonna have her stay outside and keep watch outside, make sure there aren't any kobolds like returning from patrol or anything of that nature.
Okay, and what is the range of your empathetic link with her?
It's not really established so much.
Well, I will say that it is about a mile.
That seems about right.
Mm-hmm. So she would be able to tell you quite a ways if there was trouble. And she goes, you actually catch a careful as you make your way in.
Same to you, darling.
And of course, as she did take 4 points of damage. She is her feathers are quite ruffled. That's another good reason to perhaps not bring her.
Yeah.
And who would like to go first?
Oh, well, I feel like a ranger has very good quality, sneak about skills. Maybe that might be the way to go.
She kind of rolls her eye at you and she goes, "You're used to getting your way, aren't you?"
I'm just trying to make the best of an odd situation.
Well, the truth is, I cannot disagree with you. While I am not in any way a thief or a rogue, I do have some small skills in these matters. And she starts to lead the way, and she rolls a 18.
Perfect.
And she raises her fist suddenly, and you all, I would assume, stop. And she points to the left, and she points to the right. And there are several canisters. I don't know how else to put them. Canisters set in the wall, and there are various tripwires leading to them. And she gestures down to the tripwires. All of you have low light vision, so while your color is not great, you can see just fine. And you can see the tripwires, and I just need you to make a very simple dexterity. Just do not roll very low.
Okay. 14 for me.
14. So basically, you just needed to not roll a 1.
Yeah.
Which is very good because 2 of them, which would be Archibald and Tigran, both a 3 and a 4.
Eek.
So all you had to do was not roll a 1, and both of them you see kind of like get a little too close, and perhaps you even reach out and grab them one by the scruff of the neck and kind of pull him back. And Tigran is very grateful, and Archibald is not. You make your way further down the way, and I would like you to give me a spot roll.
Oh boy. Hello. There we go. Oh, that's a modified one.
A modified one. Yes.
Not a
Well,
natural one, a modified one.
fortunately, this is not something that is life or death at the moment. But you do actually hear voices in the distance, but you can make out absolutely nothing. It is just, you're in a cave.
Sure.
You're in a mine, an abandoned mine that is making. By the way, there are like rough-hewn steps every once in a while that kind of lead upwards and lead upwards and lead upwards. You've been slowly making your way higher up. And they do kind of branch off in other areas where you can actually see like a the mine version of the elevator shaft leading upwards. But you're kind of making your way up this side way up to the top. And as you get closer and closer, you can hear the voices getting louder and louder, and you can finally hear very clearly a voice saying, "Well, what do you have for me now?" And a very, actually speaking Draconic, which I believe you speak, do you
I
not?
do.
This kobold, for you definitely recognize it as a kobold, is speaking in Draconic. You know that. Wait, I did get that right. The kobolds have the dragon fixation, right?
Oh yeah. They're
Yeah. Okay.
they like
Yeah.
practically pray to them. Yeah.
Yes. I had a moment of doubt. But yes, this kobold is speaking in Draconic, a very, very rough, bad Draconic. And it is saying, bark, bark, bark. No, I could resist. And is saying, oh, lovely preciousness, lovely goodness, lovely greatness for you, my great lord Accordia. And you hear the sound of like a chest being opened or some kind of thing being opened.
Right.
And there's a pause, and then you just hear this clattering to the ground. And he says, "What is this? This is garbage you are sending me? You are sending me just trinkets and trash? I am here to give you power. But if I am to do that, I need you to work harder." And you hear a crack on the ground and then an electrical sound.
Ooh.
And the kobold screams in pain. And a moment later, the smell of burnt flesh wafts into the entranceway that you're in. And now you hear that feet are starting to come your way. And so you have a few options at this moment.
Okay.
If you stay where you are almost certain that you will be spotted as they come around the corner.
Right.
You can try to jump and grab hold of the rope that goes out into the shaft that goes downwards. You do not think you'll be seen if you do that. You could also try to hold on to the lip of the drop off to the shaft. Or you could just try to hug the corner of the shaft leading out. In that order, those would give you the greatest chance of being stealthy. Also in order would be more and more dangerous.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the jump because jump.
Okay, might as well jump.
The word of the day for Penton is jump. All right, so I've actually got my jump skill, which I have a base of 10 in already.
Okay.
And then the +4. 23.
Okay, and I would like you to make another roll. This technically would be a fortitude roll, technically. However, you get a +4 to it.
Okay. On top of my fortitude bonus?
Yes.
Okay. 15 for that.
15. Okay. So as you jump, your tail actually does wrap partially around the rope without you saying to it to. It just naturally does. And as you do, you actually feel your left foot return to its normal form. And that is interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And the rest of the troop do various things. You notice that the ranger whispers, and she just kind of fades from view. Grin climbs and holds onto the lip using his prodigious orc strength. And Archibald just hops off, and his wings come out, and he just flies up the shaft a little bit. And in fact, his wings are actually uncomfortably beating wind down on you. But he is out of the way, and you see, because you actually see you're not hidden, but there's no reason for them to look over here.
Right.
You actually see 5 kobolds walk past, and they are dragging behind them the burnt corpse of a 6, and they make their way down back the way you came.
Okay. Phew.
Okay.
Oh.
And I will not make you roll to successfully get back on the lip.
Okay.
It's just an easy little hop back on, and everyone and she kind of regains her visibility. Grin kind of crawls his way back up. Let me just make a quick little roll there. Oh, he starts to slip as you jump over.
Can I try and grab him?
You sure can.
Since I'm right there?
That would actually be just a straight dexterity roll.
Okay.
But I will give you a +4 to it.
19.
19. Okay. So he starts to slip. He's going up, and his buckler actually hits the side of the lip. He's not expecting it. He forgot that it was there, and it knocks him off balance. And he starts to slide. You see his fingers like on the stone as he starts sliding down, and you land, and then you just you pirouette, and your hand comes down and just catches him. Now, you do not possess the physical strength to pull a half-orc up, but you do stop him. And
right.
By stopping him, he's able to then pull himself up the rest of the way. And he looks at you very gratefully and whispers, "Oh, thank you very much."
That's 2, buddy. That's 2.
He nods emphatically, and he goes, yes. All right. What would y'all like to do now?
All right. I guess upward and onward. Lead the way, mysterious ranger.
Okay. And she kind of does a sneak forward. She's walking on soft, supple leather boots, making very little noise. Grin makes the most noise of all of you, but he is trying to be quiet, and he's actually wearing leather armor, which is you're grateful for, because if he was wearing chain or something, it would be no good. And Archibald is only wearing like very simple leather armor, so none of y'all are clinkety clacketing. And she sneaks her way forward, and then she comes back to y'all and whispers, "There is an open chamber with several windows. I think maybe even a balcony? Not sure. And there are several bookshelves of books.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a sort of misshapen throne, a thrown-together throne that Accordia is sitting on, and he is being served by 2 kobolds. And as far as I can tell, that is all there is in the room."
Just him and 2 kobolds, huh?
Yeah, it seems like because we were quiet, his retinue has left to dispose of the body he just killed.
All right. Well, we have a decision to make. It seems as though if I use my magic, it kind of messes me up. So I'm wondering if I tried casting something at him, it might kill me. So that's not good. Kind of defeats the purpose of this whole thing for me. Does anybody have a way to incapacitate him quickly?
I could hit him on the head, says Grin. And Archibald says, "Well, I'm rather good at striking from behind, but I need to be behind in order to do so." And
what about you, Asa?
Well, I certainly can get off 1, maybe even 2 arrow shots before he can, do anything.
Well, maybe we can just overwhelm him.
That might be the best bet. He is, no offense to your profession, sir, but frail.
Well, I can relate. All right, how far away is he from the entrance?
Not the chamber itself is perhaps 50 feet across, and he is not all the way on the other side, so maybe 30 feet away.
Oh, that's reasonable. Overwhelm it is then. And if it comes to it, if I have to cast something, I'll try my luck and hope I don't die.
Okay. So before we start combat, I would like you to roll for initiative.
Okay.
Let's go.
13 for me.
13 for Penton. And Grin. Oh no, that was a 7. I thought that was a 1. To Grin gets a 12. And Asa gets a 5. Okay. So you are actually first.
Oof. Well, all right. Well, let's go for the complete surprise process then. Well, if he's only 30 feet away, I could enter and jump in. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. Enter the chamber, leap as high as I can, make an arch for the 30 feet. I'll roll my jump if you need me to. At the same time, I'm going to blast my aura as bright as I can, and bring my quarterstaff down on him.
That sounds great. I just want you to basically roll to attack, and you get a +4 to roll to attack.
Okay. That'd be a 23.
23. Wow. Hold on.
And well, no, I was gonna say no, that's only for spells. So yeah, that's not a problem. Okay. So I'm assuming that's gonna hit.
Yes. So you come running. You leap forward. You strike with your staff, and I would like you to make a fortitude save.
Okay.
With a +4. Sorry.
15.
Strike downwards. As you do, you feel your right arm become Pintony again as you engage in this combat, and you strike down, and you feel your staff connect with Mage Armor. And he turns and looks up at you and smile. And now it is Tigrin's turn. Tigrin, he rolls a 19. Now tell the listener, since you're more familiar than I, how Mage Armor works.
Well, Mage Armor creates a kind of magical barrier that's similar to armor that adds a +4 to their AC.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So he actually hits because he rolled a 19. This guy has his Mage Armor up. So he actually does 6 points of damage.
Nice.
To Accordia. And Accordia was not expecting that. Accordia was expecting for his Mage Armor to just turn away your attacks. Archibald, it's his turn, and you see him turn and run.
Of course.
Yep. And now it is Asa's turn. And she fires 2 arrows. Wow. She rolls an 11 and a 5, which is very, very bad. So she fails to hit either you or Tigrin.
Oh no!
She starts firing upon you. And I did forget. I totally forgot. So we'll just put them at the end of combat. There is the
two kobolds.
And I'll just say for the sake of argument that they've just pulled out. One of them has a scimitar. And the other one actually has in each hand a bola, which you're very familiar with Berezi.
Right.
And it is now your turn. And as it is your turn is coming up, Accordia says, "This is very simple. Tell me the entrance, and I will let you live. Refuse me, and I will see to it that you suffer in the 9 hells." It's your
Okay. Well, that just now I'm angry. Now I'm just angry. I was going to be careful, but now suddenly we are outnumbered, and outnumbered by people that are probably more powerful than we are. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And being the essence of a blue dragon, there's only one answer, and that's a lightning bolt.
Okay.
Straight at Accordia.
At Accordia? Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that roll. Or does he need to roll to save?
Well, he'll save for half.
Okay.
Unless he's got some sort of resistance to lightning.
He does not to lightning.
Okay. Let me make sure I've got my number of dice correct. Right. And I'm going to juice this one too as well with my Bahamut backup.
Okay.
So that will be a total of 5d6 plus 1. Ooh, that's 21 points.
21 points. Ow. Your lightning blast, and where does that lightning blast come from?
I being as angry and as semi-draconic as I am right now, it's going to come straight from my mouth.
Okay. You just open your mouth up, and as you do, you catch that flash that you've seen in the past of Bahamut locked in combat with a skeletal dragon. And you feel his power flowing through you. You feel the energy ripple through your face, and your entire face changes. You don't even need a mirror to look. You know that you look more or less like a dragonborn right now.
Okay.
And your mouth opens, and just a bolt of lightning flies out. Again, not expecting this. Accordia, he was expecting to have the utter and complete upper hand on you. And he was not expecting a lightning bolt out of your mouth. And so you strike him, and his body burns. And you think only the mage armor has saved him from death. Just, deflecting some of this crackling energy. One other thing, when that transformation happened, you feel in your chest a burning sensation, but not a pain, not like your chest is on fire, a burning sensation. And the way that you know how to cast your spells, you don't go to another wizard and learn your spells and write them in the book. You are magic,
right?
And when you learned lightning, you just knew how to cast lightning. Right now, you know that at least one time you can breathe lightning. You have just gained that ability.
All right.
For whatever reason and for however long, you know that you can. And it is now Tigrin's turn. Tigrin, never the subtle one, comes running forward. And rolls a 4. Perhaps he is... the one of the kobolds is fighting him off and throwing him off for trying to attack.
Should I be rolling for the NPCs?
Gosh, I know. It's awful. I'm going to switch dice. here. And now it is Accordia's turn, and she is going to fire 2 more arrows. One at you. She rolls.
I'm going to assume you mean Asa.
I'm sorry, Asa, not Accordia.
Yes.
Asa. And one is a 17, and that unfortunately does hit Tigrin and does full damage of that. And she strikes him. Unfortunately, he is bloodied. Not bloodied in the old Dungeons & Dragons half damage, but he has taken that blood. You see him reach down, and he puts his finger in it, and he starts to shake. And you see him start to enter a barbarian rage. And that should be interesting. And now it is Cordia's turn, and he is going to reach both hands forward, and he grasps the shoulder of the 2 kobolds, and they both die in flames.
Whoa.
And you notice that like his chair was not at the other end of the room where you would normally put like a throne. It was kind of like off to the side, and as he does that, the area underneath flares, and a pentagram lights up.
Oh boy! And
a demon appears and roars at you. That was his turn. And now this is where it should come around to your turn. But one other thing happens. Rolls a 17. As Asa is reloading her arrows for firing on you once again, she cries out as Archibald stabs her in the back.
Oh.
Which is why he was retreating to
The
find
old turnaround.
Yes, to find a better angle. She was not paying attention to him at all. She had guessed him to be the kind of person to do that. And he does double damage of maximum damage.
Lovely.
So he actually does 14 points of damage in a single strike, which for a dagger is pretty darn good. And strikes her in the back, and she just screams and was entirely not expecting that. And it is now your turn, Penton. There is Accordia, who is very hurt. There is a demon who has just appeared, and the 2 kobolds are dead. And there's, of course, also Asa, who has just been stabbed in the back.
Right. Well, since a demon is coming to play, I'm going to be casting Protection from Evil on myself.
And tell the listeners, what does Protection from Evil do?
Among other things, it's gains you get a +2 deflection bonus to your AC, and a +2 resistance bonus on saves from attacks by evil creatures, and as well, an evil creature, or an extraplanar creature, I should say, cannot make physical contact with me.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely correct. And now, you cast that, and the demon senses it, by the way. He senses what has just happened, and he's
Good.
furious. He's furious at you.
Good.
Because he was totally about to attack you next. It is now Tigrin's turn, and he has gone into a berserker rage. Never the subtle one. He rolls an 8. So he is battering Accordia's mage armor, and you see it flickering and shimmering, but he cannot penetrate through it, and that will bring it to Asa, and he is holding out his hand, and opens his mouth, and a swarm of insects come flying out.
Yay!
Very fun. You have some experience with summoning insects, but yours is different than that.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a summoning spell. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay, so I take that back. He opens his mouth, and a swarm starts to come out of his mouth. I take that back. And some really nasty things start crawling out of his face as he does that. Accordia, unsurprisingly, spins around and draws out. She drops her bow and arrow because she can't fire directly at him without him getting attack of opportunity, and draws out a short sword and attacks Archibald. And she rolls an 18, which definitely hits. And she does... fortunately, she does not roll terribly well. She does 4 points of damage to Archibald. It's about the least amount of damage she could do. He grunts, however. Archibald is not a hearty fellow, so he's not that. He's really glad he got healed up by her earlier.
Yeah.
Great way to gain your trust, and that will bring it to the demon.
Yay!
The demon, sensing that he cannot attack you, turns his attention to Grin, pulls out a flaming whip, and whoosh, tries to attack Tigrin. He is successful, and the whip entangles him, and wow, that is very lucky for Tigrin. He only takes 3 points of fire damage as the whip hits him, but he is now entangled with the whip and is being brought in closer to the demon.
Okay.
So he actually kind of lucked out on that, but also not. And that will bring it to Asa. She rolls a 1. So let me get out my little percentage die here. Here's the 10s. She just rolls a 26, so she just misses. And that will bring it to Accordia, who has finished his casting, and a swarm of bats just come flying out and attacks the area. They are trying to attack you as best you can.
Okay.
And there is no saving throw.
There's got to be some sort of attack.
First, there's just the attack. Very fortunate. They roll a 5, so they do not successfully hit you. You will need to make a fortitude saving throw um, at the beginning of your turn.
Okay.
I already had the demon attack, didn't I?
Yeah.
I moved him forward in the roll, which was my bad. But that's okay. That still worked out. So it is actually your turn now. So I would like you to
Okay.
make a Fortitude saving throw. You roll a 11 or better.
16. How's that?
Very good. The swarm around you is disorienting, and it makes you somewhat nauseous. But you're just like, nope, nope. I'm just gonna muscle through this.
Okay.
And you manage to, with your staff, you're just like pop, 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 hitting them in a much more physical way than you are used to, as your body is changing, shall we say?
Yeah.
And it is your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. How far away from each other are the demon? What type of demon is this, by the way? Does it any kind of indication?
Well, first of all, you need to make a knowledge check in order to recognize what it is.
Okay. Knowledge Arcana. 22.
Oh, you actually have heard of this demon before, mainly because its skin is slimy. You don't think you want to touch that skin with that high roll of slime. You know that this demon is known as a babao, and it is about 6 feet tall, very slender and kind of sneaky looking. You don't you wonder like how you know this, but you think that like that's not its whip, like it stole it from another demon, which is like totally a demon thing to do because they normally.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the fun part of this. Is as it steps forward after the whip, its body erupts into flame as its body. Oh no, that's the wrong demon. I'm gonna shut up now. That is the wrong demon. No. He's just a slimy boy. Never mind. I was looking at a Baylor, which is a different one.
Yeah, I don't want to see one. No.
Don't want a Baylor.
No,
that's
don't
closer
want
to
that.
That's closer to the kinds that kill Gandalfs.
Yeah.
No. This is a Babao.
Pit fiends are right out. Okay.
Yeah. No. He is very dangerous, but he is not not as dangerous as a Baylor. I scrolled down too far. So anyway, no. He's a slimy boy.
All right. Oh, so it's me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was asking how far apart they are.
They're
the
very.
mage and the
demon's
demon.
actually in front of Arcadia. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Accordia.
Accordia. All right then, and there's space behind them, so that's when the web appears.
Okay.
Engulfing the two of them.
Gotcha. By the way, you rolled a 22 on your
my knowledge check. Yes.
You think that your lightning is not going to do so great against this demon.
Okay.
Just because you rolled a 22.
Right.
You think your lightning is maybe not going to do so great against him. That's one other little bit you get for that good roll. So
gotcha.
You cast your web, and they both need to make a reflex saving throw. Is that not correct?
Correct.
Keep from being immediately captured. The
Correct.
demon does not succeed, and
Excellent.
Accordia does not succeed.
Perfect.
So he's just closing his mouth. You know, he like it kind of obscured his vision as the bats went out. He was expecting to find like a skeleton standing, you know, from where you were, and then he's like, "Wait, what?" And then the web boom, catches him in the face, and it does not go well. The demon is also captured. However, you see that the web is already starting to be eaten by the excursion of his skin.
Yeah.
It's already starting to eat its way through. However, he is temporarily restrained. So it did work. It did work. And that will bring it to Gren, who is going to rage forward at Accordia. Still, he had that one thing in his mind, which was the original instructions you gave him, which was kill Accordia. So he's still trying to do that in his rage. And he rolls a 10. Unfortunately, he has my dice, and that's unfortunate. That mage armor is still barely protecting him as he's trying not to step in the web.
Right.
And that will bring it to Asa. And I'm going to make him make a slight roll here. So that does succeed. Okay, I wanted to see if he could cast a spell while he was webbed up, and he could.
Right.
He is going to cast a spell and vroom, disappears and reappears next to Asa in almost like a, I don't know, shadow step. And however, that did make him waste a spell he could have used attacking you. So your web was not entirely useless.
Yeah. Oh,
So
the demon did this.
Did what?
Yes. Oh no, the mage did that.
The mage,
I'm sorry.
No, the mage did that. Yes,
Right.
yeah, the mage
Gotcha.
did that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he's now next to Asa and unwebbed. And now this is an interesting combat.
Yeah.
This is a very
I'm
interesting
liking
combat.
how this thing is going.
And now it is Accordia's turn, and she is still trying to attack Archibald, and she rolls a 9, so she actually fails. He actually cling, parries her with his dagger, and you actually see him doing a little bit of a martial art move. Not a lot, but a little bit. Almost as if he has had training from Reija. And that will bring it to the demon. The demon is just going to go, and he just grabs hold and he burns through your webbing.
Okay.
It's you can tell it's as someone who's used acid splash a lot. It's acidy,
Right.
And it burns through the web. But again, you did cause him to waste a turn burning through the web, so there is that, and that will bring it to Archibald actually, and he is going to come back and make 2 strikes. Almost as if he's using a key point. And one of them strikes her, Accordia, for 6 points of damage after his bonus. She looks pretty hurt. She looks pretty bad off. He faints with one and then comes in and he just stabs her right in the belly. It's a nasty hit, like a dirty hit. And she's not looking good. And that will actually bring it to you.
Okay.
Demon's right in front of you. Accordia and Asa are both behind you, technically.
Okay. I'm gonna stay between them and the demon, so kind of like blocking its path. God, I hate to do this, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I mean, my puny little quarterstaff is not going to do much against an acid demon, so I'm gonna fire a scorching ray at it.
Okay.
This will be dragon boosted as well, because why not? I've already done enough damage to myself. I may as well keep going. And this will be... Oh yeah, I actually have to make an attack on this. All right. Sure I got my bonuses correct. Ranged attack. Okay. 22 is the attack roll.
He's got a high AC, but that hits.
Okay, well, let's do some damage.
He is not immune to fire, despite being a demon. Not all demons are.
Oh, that's a good start. Let's see here. 29 points of damage.
29 points of damage. So he is not immune to fire. However, he does have damage reduction against it. So you do 9 points of damage to the demon, which, not nothing.
It's got 20 points of resistance. Oof.
Oh, wait. You did 29 points of damage? I'm sorry.
29.
Oh, sorry. You do 19 points of damage.
No, okay. That's a little better.
Yeah, 10 points. No, 19 is a really good hit. And he hates it. You can tell that it doesn't do quite as much damage as you were hoping. But it's a good solid hit. And that will bring it to Grin. He whirls around and runs after Accordia. And he finally hits
praise be.
Praise be. Oh my gosh, you know what I realized? He's got 2 attacks.
Oops.
And he hits again.
All right.
So that second one isn't quite as much, but he does a total of 16 points of damage.
That's
you
better.
Grin has been here just pounding and pounding and pounding on Accordia, and it's just the mage armor has just been sparking and deflecting his blows, and then he aways from your web, and appears behind you, and he just turns around and just goes, "Ah!" And he just rages at him, and just with his overhead strike with his axe, just pounds. And the first one, you see the mage armor boom, disappear, and it bites into his shoulder, and then the second one comes down and just buries in his skull. And Accordia just stands there for a moment, and you hear him just mutter a word like, "That's not fair," and then down to the ground. And very, very, very dead. And Asa screams at it. You suspect she is actually his sister. And that will actually bring it to her. And she is going to attack Tigrin. And she rolls a 3 because of course she does. Because it's the Dungeon Master dice.
Yeah.
Perhaps she's in a rage of her own, but she's not as good at it as him. Now it is time for that demon. He is going to pull out his flaming whip, which he had actually let go of the other to free himself from the spider web. So it was another good thing you did with that. And he is going to try and recapture Tigrin. And he rolls a 12, and that fails, even with his very good bonuses. That is not going to do it. And that will bring it back to actually Archibald. Archibald is going to continue to attack Asa, and he rolls a 12. Everybody sucks. Whiff, 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 whiff. That will bring it to you, Benton. Despite the fact that you are up against a demon, and there is still a ranger very angry behind you.
Yeah.
You have dispatched a wizard. It's not nothing. Or y'all have, I should say. But, well, a lot of that was the damage you did. And now it is your turn.
Okay. I'm running out of tricks. Yeah, I'm going to send off my other Scorching Ray and use my third and final Dragon Boost on that.
Okay.
And hope it does enough to make a difference. Oh, I'm going to roll for attack. Right. Oh, that's good. It's a 17.
That will hit.
Ooh! Okay. Not as good. 24, so I guess 14 points then.
That is correct. However, you have still done 33 points of damage to this demon. He is hurt. He is absolutely hurt. He is not feeling great, and he's clearly angry because he's the kind of guy who's used to wading through fire, but your fire is so powerful, it's actually hurt him.
Yeah.
And it's now Tigrin's turn. Tigrin is turning around. He sees you in danger, who he owes this debt to, and he's going to just throw himself at this demon. And gets a 12 and a 2. Bah, bah, whiff, whiff. At least well, that doesn't happen. But anyway, it is now Asa's turn, and she is attacking Archibald and succeeds and does 6 points of damage to him. She's done 10 points of damage, and he is not looking so great. He's not super tough. But that's not your great concern right now. Your concern is that it's the demon's turn, and he's still trying to attack Tigrin, who he rolls a 1.
Oh.
Unfortunately for y'all, it's just a regular miss. But he misses, so that's good. And Archibald is back in kind. 12. Yeah, 12 and a 14. He spent a point to attack twice. Whiff, 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 whiff. Unbelievable. And my dice are extraordinary. I'm going to change dice again. You're out of here. You're out of here, buddy. It's time for the greenie meanie. Back to you, Penton.
Okay. Let's see what we've got left in our bag of tricks. Well, that's not going to do anything. Why not try a magic missile? What the heck? At least I know that'll hit for sure. It'll be 3 of those.
Let me see. I see nothing that will give him resistance to that.
Okay, and that's a total of 14 points.
14 points. So that is 47 points of damage. He is badly hurt. He is, you know, I mean, he's not like at death's door, but you've really hurt him. And he is furious, and the slime just starts bubbling off his body and like dripping on the ground. And that will bring it to Tigrin. Tigrin is raging against this demon, and he misses both times. The greeny meanie does no good whatsoever.
Perfect.
That brings it to Asa, who is attacking with her short sword. She misses. And that brings it to the demon. You are very fortunate that rolled off my clipboard, because that was a natural 20, but it was now cocked. So it can't. He can't attack you, so he's focusing on Tigrin. He rolls a 10 and an 8. This, guys, even for
you, this is bad.
This is extraordinary. That will actually bring it to Archibald, who rolls a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Okay, I'm switching back to the bone dice of death. Switching back to my white, and it's your turn.
Okay, let's fire off my last magic missile at this demon. 9 more points of damage.
56 points of damage. He is very, very hurt now. His body is bubbling and oozing from these open wounds that you've caused him from fire and from magic. And this demon, a lot like Accordia, he really thought that this was just going to be a walk in the park, that he was just going to mow you people down, that these mere mortals would be no match for him. And it is not happening. Not only can he not attack you, but you are doing a tremendous amount of damage to him, and he can't even manage to hit this half-orc that's just wailing on him. Not hitting him, but wailing on him. And that will bring it to Tigrin. Come on, Tigrin.
Yeah, please, just one good hit.
Natural 20.
There it is.
Natural 20. The second one missed, but natural 20. And maximum damage. So his plus the damage. And remember my rule that I double everything. So he does 23 points of damage.
Yummy.
That is 79 points of damage. The demon had 66 hit points. So you see he's just been whiffing and whiffing and whiffing. And every time he whiffs, he gets more angry because he's raging. And finally, he whiffs one more time, and then he doubles around. And the demon, like you see the demon, like your battle senses, this all kind of slows down. He goes, as he circles around again and just buries his axe in the demon's belly. And immediately the axe begins to melt under the acid. You're really glad that he didn't do some kind of touch attack.
Yeah.
The axe is no more. And the demon is... And Asa cries out, and she says, "This is it, you fools. You will all die here." You look over, and you see that the door has been magically shut. It is an iron door that is shut. And you can tell with your arcanic sense that this demon is about to explode.
Oh, no.
So your choices are, you could try to open that magically sealed door, or you could try going out the window.
Look before you leap. Well, there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out how to get a magically shut door, especially when I'm pretty much spent on spells. Well, I know Archibald's going to be able to be fine. Yeah. I mean, I'll run to the window. And everyone to the window! This thing's going to blow!
Okay. And Tigrin grabs hold of you, and he goes, I'll try and shield you as you fall.
Just take care of yourself, man. We'll figure this out.
Okay. Okay. And you throw open the window. It's a very simple. There's nothing to the window, and you open up, and you are like 100 feet up. A fairly steep part. Just part of the crevasse. It just is an entrance that's coming out of it. There's no real way to go up or down. There's only out. At that moment, this would be the point in the action movie where the countdown counts down. Boop,
right.
Boop, 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 and you hear behind you this like inside sound, and then outward. And you can either jump or not jump.
Well, let's see. Stay and get engulfed by acid or jump. I'm gonna take, the way that, I'll choose the danger rather than have it being thrown at me.
Okay. You leap out, and you feel that jump that you did before. That just takes you upwards. And in your back, you feel this searing pain where those 2 cuts went across your back. And pain just flares out like white hot. You almost lose consciousness. One hand is holding on to the staff. The other hand, almost of its own accord, grabs hold of the scuff of Tigrin's neck. And there is this boom sound. And you realize that you have wings.
Wow.
And you have grown wings. You have also fully assumed the form of a dragonborn, but not quite a dragonborn. You look like a hybrid between a dragonborn and a spell scale sorcerer. Your scales are glittering. There is a bluish hue to them, but you are fully a dragonborn with a long, balancing tail. And just at that moment, as you, the weight of Tigrin starts to pull you down, fortunately, because that acid just sprays out. And I would like you to make a reflex saving throw.
Okay. It's a 15.
15. That will do it. You duck and dive, and I want to be clear that you are not gliding, you are flying. You are actually flying.
Okay.
That you are controlling these wings very unsteadily because you've never flown before, except but perhaps because of your transformation into a bird has helped. And Tigrin is really too heavy for you, so you're slowly losing altitude, but you're finding
right.
You're able to greatly reduce the amount of your reduction so that it's almost like a feather fall, shall we say.
Yeah.
And that y'all are able to do a few kind of swoop lefts and right, and you hear a telepathic communication from Aphil saying, "The hell?" And then you land on the ground. And not far away, Archibald lands next to you. And then a pum, 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 pum lands next to you, and it is the head of Asa, badly burned by acid and very, very dead. And you are now a dragonborn.
Well, okay. Unexpected.
Unexpected. And you have usable wings, and a tail, and claws, and lightning breath, and you are currently a dragonborn.
Wow. Well, all right. I guess that'll take some adjustment, both statistically and emotionally.
Yep. And Archibald comes up to you, and by the way, he's rather injured.
Yeah, I bet.
It's great. And he says, I promised you that I would not harm you at this time. But I'm also not going to harm you now either, because you look scary as hell. But
I'm feeling pretty scary.
And your voice is actually, I'm feeling scary. Like, you're like, whoa. Your voice is actually deeper by an octave. And I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. Back at meeting with Raja, the three of you, and y'all are filling her in, and she says, well, without their leaders, these siblings, I have no doubt that the kobolds will scatter, and so I have no more concern for them at this time. But you, Penton, how do you feel about your current form?
I'm honestly not sure.
Well, a question. Do you have any magic left within you?
Just some trinkets until I can get some rest.
Do me a favor. Concentrate on your magic. And I want you to just cast one spell off into the distance, if you mind. My scales are rather precious. Off into the distance.
Oh, it won't be anything dangerous, I promise. I'll prestidigitate the scent of flowers in the air.
Okay. And you, and in that moment, there's just a poof, and you're yourself again. And you actually almost fall over because your center of gravity is suddenly changed again, and you have no more tail, and it's just gone. It's just this is magic. It's not like a werewolf transformation. It's just gone. And you're yourself again. And she says, "You have been given a gift that many who come and study under me train for years and never achieve. Those who come here and train, many of them gain a partial form, such as Archibald here, who is able to fly for a brief period of time, and my student Taka, who gained the agility and speed of the monkey, was more powerful, for she gained it for a much permanent basis. However, I sense that you will have control over these forms. You may find that you have no less than 3 total, each with their own advantages and disadvantages and danger. But get some rest. You're going to have a lot of experiment."
Yeah. What was that middle part again?
That one is quite simple, really. And you can't see her. You cannot see her move. She just, in a moment, she is next to you and just goes, boom, and pushes you off the ledge where the scales are. And you're falling 80 feet to your death. You have no magic. You have no anything. And something in your mind flares and just, boom, 2 wings pop out of your back. You're still Penton. You are not a dragonborn. You just have 2 wings on your back. You cannot fly, but you are able to glide. And you glide smoothly down to the village, where a incredibly stunned Morezi is looking up, and she is holding Aki and just bloop, drops him because Aki looks at her angrily, and she's just like, "The hell was that?" And that's where we'll end. Chafing Armor, number 78. Level up for Penton.
I was just gonna say I've just been running by and a wing and a prayer.
Very good. So Penton, you have the ability. First of all, you have the ability that you gained as a as a spell scale. Please tell everyone what that is.
I've basically gotten in touch with my dragon self and have, as demonstrated there, sprouted a pair of wings with which I can glide at 30 feet around. Can't fly, but I can get up high and glide down, kind of like a flying squirrel, I guess, or something like that. So I've got that. And also, I've also gotten in touch with my magic self, and I can kind of just see magic auras. So basically, I've got detect magic at will at this point.
Very useful skill these days.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, because of the blessing of Bahamut that almost killed you, you now once per day can assume a dragonborn form. In your dragonborn form, your hit points double.
Ooh.
Your claws, both hands, you have a claw attack 1d4 plus 1. You have a bite attack 1d4 plus 1. You can hold your breath for 4 times your constitution. You can fly for 3 rounds. But only for 3 rounds. You're not a strong flyer. And once a day, while you have assumed this form, you can breathe lightning. And that is now a skill you have.
All right. Now, how long does this last?
The form itself actually lasts for up to an hour.
Okay.
You can keep that form for an hour, though you can only fly for 3 rounds.
Right.
And you cannot carry anyone unless they are lighter than you. So you could actually say carry Tix, but you would not be able to carry any of the other party members.
Right. Fair enough.
And even that will be difficult. But that is, it's now a thing you can do.
Sweet.
Which is why I wanted to do a solo adventure to get to all of this.
Well, yeah, that seems appropriate.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoy
fantastic.
that. I'll get you the stats on that.
Sweet.
And as I did say before, you do have a tail. You also have, of course, +4 to jump, swim,
+4
and
so I still
balance.
Right. But that's only when I've got the form.
Only when you're in your dragon.
Right.
form.
Okay. So I don't have a tail anymore. Okay.
No, you do not have a tail anymore, even when you're gliding. So, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. This has been fun.
When we return, we'll get back to a couple of other things to wrap up some things here before we move all of the characters towards their goal of going to the Simian crevasse.
Finally.
Dun dun. Thank you so much for listening. For playing.
Sure.
And we will roll with you soon.